quite funny actually. Oh, is he just joined? Yep, there he is. All right, ready up, guys. No, he'll go to. Yeah, there he is. Who? Charles? Yeah, no. Charles said he can't join yet. Something's going on with his game. Shall I invite the fastest guy on my friends list and he'll just shit on everyone by like 3 seconds? His name's Joseph Dunrod and he's fucking insane. He's the best control player I've ever seen in my life. He's like a second a lap quicker than everyone. Hi, Unchosen. It's not his fault, man. You can join during. I can't know what you said, John. What? My what? Yeah. Yeah. The whole call went silent for John to ask if I'm streaming. Ooh. What the hell is going on? I'm trying to send the stream to self-promo. Anyway, I'm going to start talking when the session begins. Hello, welcome to NPL Season 14 Race 4, where we are at Abu Dhabi, one of the best tracks in NPL history for racing, and it's going to be absolutely peak. We have 15 drivers, potentially 16 when Charles Price joins. We had 20 last season, a tied record with Australia Season 13, looking to get very peak. Now, unfortunately, a few people could miss the race today. Dylan, Jesus Dylan, was going to join it, sadly cannot race today, but Dylan Gore will be racing. I don't race because I'm the commentator this season. I don't want to race. I have not raced all season. There he is. Charles Price just joined. He'll be racing for Ferrari for this race alongside Ski. That's pretty peak. There we go then. So every single driver in the field except for Dan has a teammate, and so too for Graham Crackers. He also has no teammate. And Ruben, actually. Hold on a minute. I can't. Here we go. So yeah, you'll be fine, Harry. There's fucking 16 people at Abu Dhabi. There's no way there's not going to be a safety car. So, we have John. I'm not getting telemetry on this shit. Oh no! Hubert left the session, might have disconnected or something. We're going to invite him back because he's the GOAT. Where is he? There he is. Omega Mate is online. I believe that is that Ethan's old account, or am I stupid? Or was that like Oliver or something? Yeah, I think it's Oliver. Can't lie. I wish I had Charles added, but I don't think I do. Invite Dylan again. Oh, I do have him added. He just hadn't come up on my list yet. I invite Dylan again just to rub it in that he can't race. Anyway, Ski there in P7 in the Ferrari, just getting touch on tires. We've seen some interesting pace from the drivers. We have a bunch of drivers contending for pole position. There he is, your championship leader, Shem, finally driving the Gulf liveried Williams for the first time this season, alongside Hubert, his teammate. Our first driver on track is John in the McLaren, as ever. He's always one of the first ones to come on track. He's got Graham Crackers behind him in the Mercedes. He's also going to start a lap soon. John trying to get to the front of the queue. Does so. We're going to start his lap now. He started third place last season on the grid alongside Pshenka's teammate at the time and for Red Bull. Red Bull currently in 12th and 15th this session because they haven't set a lap yet. Oh, John goes very wide in turn, and that cost him loads of time going over the curb there. So his... he backed out. He's had enough already. That wasn't going to be a penalty even if he didn't back out. And there goes Graham Crackers. He's got a Sauber behind. Is that Riley on the lap now in the first sector? It is indeed. And Graham Crackers there going down the straight. Yeah, flags are out as there's a McLaren of Fabian slowing down. On his lap. I think he backed out of his lap potentially. Graham Crackers there on the lap. What's he going to look like? He'll be the first driver to set a time if I'm not mistaken. Bonfer there in the Haas continuing on. And you can see Graham Crackers trying his best to go for pole position. We saw him get a podium. We got second place back in season 12. A wonderful performance from him. Looking to get back to that sort of pace. He got a podium this season, in fact, for the first time since then. at Australia. Did a great job. We got purple middle sector for now. Of course, he's the first driver to set a lap. 2 cars behind. Riley's on lap 2, but we'll see where they all come out in this session. We're going to be looking for around about a low 1 minute 22 for the pole lap. Maybe a mid 22 if the drivers are sliding around a lot in the session. We'll see what the track conditions are like. But so far, so good for these guys, it looks like. We're about to get our first lap time from the Mercedes Graham Crackers into the final corner now. What's he going to manage? There's a Haas slowing down in the first sector. That's Bonfo. And Graham Crackers goes quickest for now and gets beaten by Riley immediately. Riley goes quickest at the 24.4, a tenth quicker than Graham Crackers there on his return to the series with a new username called Roly, which is pretty tough. And then we have John there. Now he's actually going into a lap now with only a little bit of battery left. CB goes quickest now with a 23.0. Pretty good lap for a banker. That's definitely the kind of range you want to be in. A low 23 to a high 22 for a bank lap is pretty decent around here, I gotta say. Meanwhile, Fabian does a 1 minute 40. Pshen goes second there with a 23.2. He was here on pole position for the first time in his career last season for driving for Red Bull. And who else is... Oh, Dan has spun out, I think. He has indeed. Dan spins out in the Latifi corner. Oh, God. I think it's Harry on a lap here. What's Harry looking like through the final 2 corners? This is going to be a great lap from Harry by the looks of the Delta. Oh, he goes second fastest, a 10th down his teammate, but CB still on provisional pole. Ski there goes fourth fastest with a 23.6. Not the best bunker lap. 1-2 for VCarb in the pink liveried team there. That's looking pretty good this season. Their team have been so locked in ever since they both raced together in Australia. Even the first race of the season with Harry. I mean, as a full team, Harry, you moron. Oh my god, man. Obviously, you have been locked in, but as a team, VCarb have been locked in since you both raced in Australia. You were literally running first and third in quali for the sprint. Yeah, but you still had a good race. The results weren't there, but the performance was for the majority of the race. Like, goddamn. Let me glaze you in peace, Harry. You're paying me for this. Anyway, Ruben on in sector 1. Continues on. Fabian goes quickest to the 22.7 banker lap. That's a wonderful banker lap from Fabian. On used set, I believe, because he kind of had to back out of his first attempt. He slowed down in the first sector, but on the second run goes quickest. There's Jan. You've seen Fabian supposedly he can get a low 22 in qualifying here, based on his practice runs. But we'll see if he can do that. Here comes Jan now. Purple first sector for Jan. Has he used too much battery is the question. He has used quite a lot. But Jan there continues down the back straight. To use the side of the track to gain some time. There's less grip down there. So Fabian hasn't got a pole in a while in NPL. Looking to get his first pole since Qatar season 13 last season. Let's see if he can do that. And Jan continuing on now. Fun fact, by the way, we have not had a single driver who got the pole position lap getting the win in the same weekend this season so far. We had, of course, Shank, who got the pole lap, did not start on pole. He got disqualified from qualifying, allowing Harry to start on pole position. And then we had second race was Harry sprint pole and the pole, and did not win either of those races. And then in the next race at Singapore, we had Dan getting pole position and getting unlucky there with a few incidents, and he then finished in P4 in that race, allowing Ski to get his first career victory and hoist himself as a championship contention. Jan goes quickest! Jan gets a 22.7 banker lap! Jan puts on provisional pole for the first time ever, I believe, when this far into a session. Meanwhile, Bonfo was P6, I forgot to mention, got a 23.3. So Jan must have cut half the track to go quickest. Amazing. Jan manages a great lap here. Is that Schenk on a lap or is that Hubert? Schenk's on an out lap. Anyone on a lap currently? Is Hubert on a lap here? No, he's not. Is Ruben on a lap? I think he might be. No, he's not. Dylan Gall is heading into one now, it looks like, in the Red Bull. What can he manage? Let's watch his lap. Everything in its right place. Let's see. So Red Bull currently, they got pole last season, got first and third. Will they do the same this season? Looking so far potentially possible here. So we can look at the Red Bull of Dylan Gore. We're not going to show any. I'm not going to leak any of the battery figures in any session because I think you can look at it on the steering wheel anyway if you really care, but supposedly a purple first sector, that is not true. Jan's was 2/10 quicker than Dylan's first sector there, who has a pretty tentative exit out of turn 4. But, was that turn 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, whatever. Down, he's using the strat that all the esport drivers do, where you run down the side on the painted line on the outside of the track. And now he's going to send it late into the corner, breaks a little bit too deep into the chicane. Does Dylan on his first attempt. He's one of just 3 drivers to not set a time yet. One of them is Dan, a championship contender, down in 3rd in the standings he is at the moment, coming off of a P4 and a P2 in the last 2 races, and then P6 in the opening round. Dan hoping to get his championship ball rolling with a win today. But Dylan there on a lap currently, looking pretty decent, nothing too flashy at the moment, but we'll see. Shank's also on a lap, I think. Let's see what he's doing through the first sector now. Shank in the Williams there, and the first time he's been using the Golf livery. It's a purple first sector. Supposedly he's 200s quicker than what Dylan was doing, and also than Jan's supposedly quickest first sector, which is just not true. Meanwhile, is that anyone else on that? No, Shank backed out. Shank not on a lap then. Dylan, by the way, got a 24.1, puts it just behind John in P8. We saw John get a 22.9 last season, so we know he's capable, but then again, he did cut the whole chicane. Unfortunately for everyone else, he got away with it, but I'm going to be watching him like a hawk today through the first corner. Watching do a whole onboard with John through the second turn. I'm going to be very critical of this lap because it's very fun. At the first sector, he's a whole tenth down on the quickest time. Not great from John, but he is improving on his lap. Missed the apex there, gets in the power a little bit slowly on the exit, not quite straightened out as he would have liked to be. Down the straight, using all the battery, using too much, I'd say. Wants to say, oh, there we go, he's doing it now. Not using the side of the track, so he's not going to use the low grip zone to go quicker in the straight. Braking there, brakes a little bit too late, but he's still got the apex nicely. Continuing on, and Harry apparently fumbled a lap. John did not cut the chicane this time. Let's see what he's looking like in the middle sector. There's a Red Bull slowing down in front of him. Is that? It looks like that is Dylan Gore, who is currently in P9 behind him in the session. 3 tenths up for John. This is a decent lap from him. Looking to get into P7 with this lap, maybe even P6 if he has a great last sector. Let's see what he can manage. Nice and clean, plenty of time left in the lap to gain. And braking nice and smoothly for the right-hander. To the left, using the curb nicely. Oh, we turned too early and gets beached on the curb. I saw that coming. And it goes over on the exit, but I think it's in the last couple corners now. Is he going to finish the lap? There's a Red Bull going slowly in front of him, and he goes over the curb again, but this time he does manage to come across the line and goes, stays in 8th position there. Only gained a 10th. I think he lost time in that last sector. That's a shame. He lost 2 tenths at the end. It was a good lap until then. He made a little mistake in the final sector there, getting beached on the curb, turning too early, and it cost him time there. But still, all the blueprints for a great lap from John were there, so I reckon he can definitely get onto the first, let's say, 3 rows of the grid. Harry there on a lap now. Let's watch Harry continue on as Fabian goes quicker now with a 22.5. It looks like it's between Jan and Fabian so far, and CB also improved to a 22.9 just now. Pretty decent lap from him. So he's looking like a contender in the first 2 rows on the grid. Harry there taking a lot of curve on the inside line. It is a little bit down in the first sector, but it's all about how you gain in the rest of the lap, really. So we'll see what he manages now. Harry, of course, coming off of starting first, 2 races in a row at the start of the season. And the first 2 races he did. He did not race yesterday. Is racing today. You see this nose camera as he goes through the chicane. Let's watch his onboard. And drags. Is he going to cause an incident again? He did not this time. Gave me flashbacks just then. And there's Harry there, continuing on his lap. What's it looking like in middle sector? He is purple, supposedly, but he is down on his best lap, so it's all down to the last sector. Harry did lose his time there, so it's not over for him to get maybe on the front row, maybe even provisional pole. 25, by the way, is quicker than the pole time from last season by Pschemk, so good stuff from Fabian there, looking very quick today. Harry taking a very careful line through here. Almost got beached on the curb. So Harry just making sure he gets through these corners more directly. Jan's on lap 2, and Harry backed out on the end of his lap. CB might be heading into another one, not sure. Has he got no fuel? Let's have a look. Yeah, he has fuel. Drag supposedly got in the way of Jan, but honestly, I don't see what he did wrong. It was a straight line, but then again, Jan does like not being distracted. Yeah, Drax does that a lot. Who was that who just went quicker? Is that Ski into P5 now with the 23.1, just behind Harry. Bonfo goes forward fast as the 23.0. He now goes ahead. He's got Riley in front of him, and I think Hubert just did the lap, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. Goes 4 tenths quicker and goes up into P11 in the session, almost in the top 10. Who was that who just went quicker there? Dan goes 4th fastest with a 23.0 as well. So it's pretty close on the brink there. Has Dan got enough time to go for another attempt? I think he does. There's 5 minutes left in the session. So, Ski there. Is he on a lap? I can't tell. I think he might. I don't think he is. He's definitely not on a lap. Oh, what a line by Ski there over the grass on the inside to cut the corner. Anyway, is Pshenk on a lap now? Looks like he is. So Pshenk, 9,000 up in the first sector with a 17.3. We've seen the best first sector so far of the day was Jan with a 17.1. At least I think it was. I don't know if I've seen anyone else. Probably might have. But still, Pshenk. Yeah, it's fine, Jan. I had the same thing last season. I started last because of it. It happens. But yeah, Pshenk there coming through the chicane. Oh, lots of wheel spin on the exit there. Oh, CB's had an incident. It looks like he's almost crashed in the final corner there on a lap. That's such a shame for him. He was. Oh. But well, he had no ERS. I thought he was on a lap, but supposedly he wasn't. Oh, he almost hit drags. Oh, crash! Was that Riley? Into the pit wall there. That's unfortunate, but who else was I watching just then? Pshenk, I think it was Rubinon just almost spun out there on his lap. He's 7 seconds down, so I don't think he's on one. Shenk's 2/10 up. Is he going to gain more in the last sector? Looks a little bit cleaner this time. But he did have a big snapper oversteer on the exit of the chicane, or wheel spin, I should say. Heading through the final corner, what's Shenk going to manage? Didn't see the apex or not, but he's going to come across the line for a 22. I think, yes, this 22.8 goes third fastest. Good luck from Shenk. Goes between Jan and CB for P3 now. Good stuff from him. Jan looking on it today in qualifying. He's giving some DJ Llama vibes this season, I got to say, for Jan. Not an insult by any stretch. John there in P9. Drags, I think, is on a lap. Or has he just done one? He's a 25.8 is his best lap so far. Riley's currently last of the other drivers. So it's Sauber, it's 14, 15, pretty realistic stuff if you ask me. But that's Dylan Gore, the only driver on track currently who's going to be doing a lap this time by. We have a Mercedes with Graham Crackers coming onto the track now as well. So Dylan there, what's he going to manage on his attempt here? Let's have a look at the tyre compounds. So Dylan on fresh softs, what's he going to manage here? Cars coming out the pit lane, this might not be what he wants. Dylan might get impeded by the cars exiting the pit lane. Oh, he missed turn one. Oh man, not the best first corner for Dylan there. Oh no, his car's coming out the pit exit. Is that Drags coming out or is that Riley? It's Riley there. Dylan Gal? What do you mean it's Dylan Gal? But I know it's Dylan Gal. I say Gol because that's how it's abbreviated, you moron. Anyway, Gal. Dylan Gal 08. Dylan Gallagher goes for his lap in 12th place now currently. So much for an esport driver down in P12. Crazy work. He's not even on a lap anymore. He backed out, I think. And Hubert there, 13th currently on an outlap. No one else. He's the furthest ahead on that. Like I said, Graham Crackers will go into a lap this time by the driver who finished second here in season 12. What was a very interesting podium. It's very busy down there. Very bussy, bro. Bussy middle sector, according to Fabian, but Graham Crackers there into turn one, looking pretty tentative through there, but still very smooth from Graham Crackers through turn one. Trying his best to go for a higher position in qualifying. Currently on 23 is a Bonfo stopped in the letting cars pass now, trying to get some track position placement. Dan goes ahead as well, I think. I was about to anyway. There's space. Oh, this is really busy here. This is going to get very hectic, I think, as CB goes to a lap. Harry's on a lap here currently. He's a 10.5 up in the first set. It was a very good first set from Harry there. He's cooking on this lap in the V-car, using the painted line on the outside to go quicker. Can he get his second pole of the season? Let's have a look. Just getting drags now coming on. And Shank retires from the session! In the pit lane. Shank's had enough in the session. Jan there is not happy about being impeded there. Harry looks to be on a very clean lap here, to be honest. He's 3.5 up, and that is enough to be purple middle sector for Harry. He's soaring away at the wheel through the middle corner, through the middle sector there, just on the exit of the middle sector, I should say. And that long left-hander, I believe that's turn 8. Don't quote me on that. Slight little cut there, pretty cheeky, but nice. Look at the speed he's carrying there. That was a very nice line. He has an interesting way of going through there. Oh, really attacking the curve on the inside. So, oh, Graham Cracker's there in the last corner, I think that was. Or was that somewhere else? I couldn't tell. Harry there, send it through the last corner. Beautiful line through there. That was absolutely perfect. This could be it. Oh, it's not quite enough. It was a really good lap from Harry there, but he only gets a 22.6 and it's just a bit off of Fabian's best lap. Fabian's improving still. He's almost a 10th up in the first sector. This probably will be the pole lap from Fabian. Let's watch his lap as he continues on. Gamcrackers retires from the session in P10, with the 23.8 being his best lap. Riley retires down in P14. And it's a pub middle sector for Fabian. He's a 10.5 up. What a lap this is from Fabian. The only person I think who could have beaten him was Dylan Jesus, who is not here. CB tried, he backs out and crashes, I think, and he's going to finish in P5 in the session at best. What's Dan going to manage now? Out of the final corner, goes 5th fastest with a 22.8. Bonfo goes 3rd at the end! What a lap by Bonfo! And there's a Red Bull driving backwards. Is that Dylan Gal on an out lap? Just started driving backwards. I think he missed, and he got disqualified. He's going to start last. And Jan there in P4, and Fabian does a 22.2. What a lap! Unbelievable slap there, and there goes Ski into P3. A little bit wide in the final corner though. That is a little bit borderline from Ski there. Ski, Shank P6. So close. By the way, Ski exceeded the shit out of track limits in the final corner. I don't know what to think of that. Huge pole margin, 4.5 tenths. Ski qualified 4th. He apparently didn't get a warning, so yeah, I don't fucking care. No one's going to mention it anyway. Fabian gets pole position by 4.5. I saw it, it's fine, Fabian. You had a great lap, clean lap. Harry there in P2. Jan with a career best P3. Wonderful performance from Jan in qualifying with a 22.6. Unbelievable lap. And then Ski in P4, P5 to Bonfo, P6 to Shank, the championship leader, with Dan behind him in P7, P8 to CB, then 9th is John, and 10th is Graham Crackers, with Ruben on behind that. Fabian with an insane lap in the McLaren there. Fabian absolutely on it this season. Insane pace. The only driver I've seen get a 22.2 apparently was Dylan, who could not race today. Jesus Dylan, who has 2 wins, of course, none of which coming here. In the fake season 9 that there was, he did actually contend for the win at this track, but obviously that didn't end up being an official race anyway. I get the Abu Dhabi glaze on Fabian for real. When he locks in, Fabian is terrifying at this track. And his pole lap was the first pole lap he had since Qatar last season. Not too long ago, in fairness, only about 4 races ago. But Fabian there looking to get retribution for last season when he lost out to Pshemk at the end of the race with a battle with Tice, who is not racing today. They'll be glad to know. And Charles Price will be racing. He'll start last today in 16th place for not qualifying. But I'm excited to see how this goes today. Anything can happen as Riley has left the Discord chat. So Charles Price in the Ferrari, my GOAT from fucking PMORL, is going to be racing here alongside Ski in Ferrari as a reserve driver. Here we go then, and it is going to be Fabian using higher wings than anyone else, I think. That's interesting. So Harry using the same wings he does at Brazil. Interesting. A very interesting setup from him. And Jan in P3 in qualifying. What a performance from him at 22.6. As quick as the pole lap from season 13. A very good effort from Jan. You see already the pace that he has been getting in this series as of late. Him and Bonfo have been my biggest improvers this season. Never racing to Sandoval, please. Schenk in P6, the championship leader, has it all to do. Down in P6, did not qualify as well as he did last season. His lap was 2 tenths slower this time around than it was previously. I don't think he expected the field to be this close. Ski there in P4 in the Ferrari. Oh, I don't know what to expect today. Harry's going to send dive bombs on Fabian, I think is what he's trying to say. John, meanwhile, is first on the track. What a start from 9th to 1st, or 9th to 2nd, rather. He's defending for Fabian. Foreshadowing what he's going to be doing in this race. Have a look at this tyre strategy. So going into this race, just for some content, the only driver on the hards is Dylan Gal in 15th place. Oh, almost a collision there, and going through Bonfo and Harry is Pshemk. Fabian there sits in pole position. Not the first time he's been on pole Let me just check the stats actually. How many poles does Fabian have now? I think he has about 11 poles or something, but 12. Not as many poles as he does wins. Where the fuck is Ski? There he is, finally lining up on the grid. I think he's the last car to line up actually, and Charles Price got disqualified. Looks like in the back. So here we go. I'm so excited for this race. This race is going to be absolutely peak. Just like Australia, we have 16 people for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in NPL Season 14. It's Fabian on pole and Harry alongside. Who's it going to be to win here today in Abu Dhabi? 5 laps in front of the drivers, and it is. Lights out, and away we go. Fabian does a decent start. Harry there is straight alongside. Not as good of a start as Fabian. Fabian had a wonderful start. Straight into first place. Is Jan going to send it? No, he's not. Contact with Ski in the first corner. Sheikh had a wonderful start into P4 already. He's got 2 places. Yeah, flags out in the background. Somebody's had an incident, it looks like. And they're 2 wide going by through here. Is there an incident in front? Dylan Gower in the back of the field, way behind everyone else now. There's a big squabble in the midfield now between multiple cars. Meanwhile, look at Bonford down the inside of Ski. Here comes Dan down the inside. The driver who was leading most of the race last time out. 3 wide behind them. And they're still close together with Darren. It is. Who gets in front of multiple cars. He's got Ski on his tail. Who goes down the inside? It's 3 wide. This could be 4 wide down the straight. Here comes John. Here comes CB. All sorts of chaos at the start of this race in the midfield. Dan sends it around the outside. Ski does too. Contact between them, but Dan hangs it around the outside. Ski will go for the switchback. Looks like he'll get it on the exit of the corner on Dan. So far, so good. The leading car. Look up Shem got to P3. What a start he had. Already up 3 places at the beginning of this race. Have a look at the positions gained and lost. Dan's gone up 2 places at the start of this race. He'll be glad to hear about that. Up 4 places for Charles Price in the Ferrari. He's had a wonderful start down in 12th place. And Ski there going down 2 at the start, unfortunately, from P4 to P6. Going down to P4 at the start, and Harry there trying to stay within DRS of Fabian at the beginning of the race. Of course, both drivers on the mediums expecting to get these tyres out of the way. Of course, the mediums are not an optimal tyre at this track. Further down, we have a battle, looks like, between CB and Bonford potentially. And so far, so good in the midfield. I don't think there's any battles going on here. As you see, Charles Price already on the back of Hubert for P11. Look at this train of cars all the way down the straight. The closest battle on track's hard to say. Jarno is right behind Schenk still for P3. Jarno's doing what he can to get in this fight. Now you got a 22.8 in qualifying. And Fabian in P1 with Harry in P2. It's crazy that a 22.8 was only enough for 7th in qualifying. It's crazy how close it is. Battles in the background, drags battling with Dylan Gow and also with Ruben on. And it's Hubert going past Charles Price, who seemed to dive on in the final corner. Here comes CB on Bonfo as well. Side by side into the chicane. 3 wide in the background. I saw that. Oh, there's a big crash in the back. 3 cars involved. That's quite a hilarious crash, actually. What the hell are they doing? Dylan Gal, Drags, and Ruben on all just sort of awkwardly drove off the track. And meanwhile, Harry there was side by side with Fabian for the race lead. Is he going to go for a switchback on him now? It's Fabian defending. They're both forcing each other to use battery, which is exactly what Shen will see. And that's a virtual safety car. As Ruben on has crashed into the pit wall entry, the old pit entry there. I think Ruben on just crashed on purpose there. Ruben on drove into the old pit wall, and that has broke his entire front wing. If so, he is now fucked over. I hope that's actually what happened, because that's really funny. So I think, considering he hasn't actually tried to kill himself yet, I think that was actually by accident. So unfortunately, the VSC has come out here because of Ruben on crashing into the old pit wall, or the alternate layout pit wall that there is over there at Abu Dhabi, which is not being used today. That is the pit lane down the main street. Meanwhile, is that Dylan Gal in the pit entry? No, it's not. He's just very far behind. A 10-second penalty for causing a collision supposedly with Drags and Ruben on. Virtual safety car ending. Everyone be very careful of Delta, guys. Jan's going to be careful here. Ski and Dan are squabbling. What the hell's going on there? He sent it, and Riley gets the drive-through for speeding under the VSC. It's not good for him. Yeah, flags are out for some reason. Is that Williams of Hubert having an incident of battle behind? A huge battle between multiple drivers, side by side down the straight. And Harry takes the lead of the race. Battling with Fabian on the restart. A great restart on their side by side for the race lead. On the exit of the corner there, Harry's still there. Let's have a look at Shank's onboard of this. He's in this fight as well. And it's looking very close between the top 3 now. It's going to be an insane fight. Harry might be under big pressure now from Shank and Fabian behind. Are they going to collide? Fabian goes round the outside of Harry. Will Harry send it down the inside? Yes, he does. It's contact. and almost spinning around. Here comes Jan down the inside of Shank into P3, and he gets the move to stick on the inside. Great move from Shank back to P3 where he started. Is he going to go for Harry now? No, he's not, and Shank goes around the outside of Shank now, or of Jan, I should say. And side by side between Shank and Jan still. Shank coming out on top for now, but Jan is being very aggressive on this restart, trying to make up places again to get back where he started in P3. But Dan it is, who's got 2 places with ski all over his tail and on the Ferrari, the driver who won last time out for the first time in his career in Singapore. And he's got John and CB in this train too. Graham Crackers has fallen off a cliff in pace compared to these guys. Bonfer and P10 has gone down 5 places. He's had a horrible start in the Haas, but it's long from the end of the race. And we'll see what these guys can do. Look how close everyone is in the midfield. John there right behind Ski. We've seen how good his race pace is here in the past, and he's actually the closest driver to anyone. There's a battle behind between Drags and Riley as he pits the service drive-through. And he'll now be down to last of the running order besides Ruben on. He'll definitely be last for now. And there's a move to the inside maybe by CB on John. He thought about it. We've seen these two battling in F2, not so much in F1. And Harry it is still right behind Fabian, trying to chase him down for the race lead here. And Schenk now on the tail of Harry. Will he go for a move into the chicane? There's Skating Battery. And Jan there is still close. There's a battle behind. Is CB going to go for a move on John? John almost at the back of Ski there on the chicane. John it is still very close. And he looks to set up a move on Dan now. The exit of the corner. They're all really struggling to save battery, it looks like, today. The whole field, to some degree. Some people, not so much in fairness, at the front of the field. But nevertheless, Shank there in P3. Right behind Harry, though, looking pretty close. A skull behind us. John side by side with CB. CB trying to get around the outside. He makes a stick. Beautiful move there from CB. Gets past John around the outside and takes P7 on the track. And now CB's gone up a position. Wait, what? I didn't leak ERS. Oh my, you guys are so stupid. Anyway, John there at P8. Continuing on his way. I literally just fucking have... I didn't say who though, did I? Shank made a mistake and now Jan is right on his tail now. Also, if you really care, you can look at the stream and see on the steering wheel what the ERS levels are on the onboard. Oh, big incident for Dan! And he's in the wall hard! Dan has crashed into the wall. And he's not got a whole front wheel missing. That's not even going to be a safety car for Dan there, down to P10. He rejoins the track. And oh, he almost hit Hubert as he rejoined. That was very close. Dan with a bit of an unsafe rejoin there, but I think he'll get away with it. And Dan now has no front wing and he'll have to hope for a safety car. But thankfully it is Abu Dhabi and it's pretty common for that to happen. But Dan's race comes undone completely at the start of the race. Disaster for him in his championship bid. And he spins out of P5. It's far from the end, Dan. It's okay. Here we go then. Harry and Fabian. Looking the quickest drivers for now. Fabian's race pace is just blisteringly quick at the moment. He's looking pretty dominant so far. Schenk struggling to stay with them. So is Jan, actually, who's now fallen off out of DRS range slightly. Oh, Jan locked up in the chicane. He's got Ski right behind him. So Fabian and Harry seem to be working together to try and pull away from Schenk, it looks like. It is mutually beneficial for these guys in their race. Both their bids for the championship. Meanwhile, look at Charles Price right behind Bonfer now. He's had a terrible start. Dylan there goes past Dan, who has that front wing damage after crashing there in the first sector and almost crashed out of the race. He needs to be very careful. He's probably going to box this lap. Hard tyres, I'd recommend, but we'll see what he does. Dan's race there. Bit of a spot of bother here. He's going to hope for a safety car, but if there is one, he will be in a great position. And I saw Dan spinning off screen there. It was quite cursed. And Harry almost... Did he lose DRS though? Did. No DRS, but neither did Schenk get that. So the top 3 have all spread out. The top 4 even. But Ski is right behind. Look how close CB is to the back of Ski now for P5 in the race. We're going to see a big battle here between these 3. It could be 3 wide down the straight. Ski goes for it. Is he going to send it on the outside line here on Ski? Around the outside. What a move it will be by him if he can make it. Almost missed the corner. Oh, there's going to be some contact here, I think. Oh, Jan goes around the outside as well. Great racing between them. And Ski's now the one in front, but he doesn't have DRS now. Jan and CB do. There's a battle for Bonfer and Charles as well. CB there right behind on the outside of Jan. Will he send it around the outside? He tries it. Jan has the inside line and gets the car to move on the inside line. Great racing between them. Meanwhile, Bonfer battling with Charles Price. Will he go for a move? Contact into the back of him he goes. Bonfer hit the back of Charles. He needs to brake earlier, man. He always drives into the back of someone. Here comes Jan around the outside of CB. Or is it CB on the inside of Jan, rather? I think it was the latter. And Jan there, forcing the issue on the inside. CB not happy about this. Ordered of racing a child again. I'm feeling bad, says Harry. And Fabian gets the fastest lap of the race as he says that. So Fabian really not struggling anymore. or at any point in this race. I don't think he has been. Fabian just looks so comfortable out in front, and Harry there trying his best to stay with him. Fabian just looks the quickest driver at the moment, and it looks like he's going to drop the DRS on him. Yeah, the tire is really bad around here. Harry there still trying his best to close in on Fabian. Lap 7 in this race. The mediums are going to be falling off a cliff here in pace at the moment. We'll see what the drivers do. Ski there battling with the arm for P4. I don't know who's going to... At the moment, it looks like Fabian has it all to lose in this race. He's got over a second gap on Harry behind. He's also being put under massive pressure now by Pschenk in the Williams. Battle behind between Dylan, Gal, and Hubert. But on the exit, Hubert may well get the DRS, will he? No, it's Dylan that gets the DRS. So Dylan overtook after the DRS detection point and gets the DRS to pull away as well. So there comes Bonfo around the outside of Charles Price. Side by side between them, almost contact. Off the track goes Charles. This is a great battle for P9 between these two. This has been going on for a while now. Very aggressive racing. Bonfo side by side with him down the straight. And Jan was very close to the back of Ski there, but it looks like Bonfo is going to fend off Charles Price for one more lap. Jan there still right behind Ski for P4. Ski does not quite have the same pace as the leading cars. He's mainly trying to defend against Jan behind. And there's Pschenk there right behind Harry. Oh, Harry's pitting. Interesting. So Harry is the first one to pit of the front-running cars, trying something different. He wants the undercut on these guys on the hard tyres, I'm assuming. We'll see what he goes on to. Let's have a look at Harry. Safety car coming up, says Harry. So Harry predicting exactly what lap the safety car thinks will come out. Here comes Jan on the outside of Ski. Has DRS and is very close to CB as well in this fight. It's a three-way fight for P3 now on the track, which is a net P4 when Harry cycles through the pit stop cycle. Harry would be massively fucked over, let's say, by a safety car now because he just pitted down to P12. Dan will be hoping for a safety car at this stage. Dan gets the fast lap of the race on the hard tyres. Jan moves in front of Ski there, and CB goes down the inside of Ski. CB, I should say, goes down the inside of Ski into the chicane on the exit, sliding on the curve there with some wheel spin. Can't quite get back past. Here comes Ski now on Jan. Trying anything he can. Ski though will get back past and retakes P4, or P3 on the track, I should say. P4 in the overall scope of the race. Meanwhile, here's once again, we have a battle between Bonfo and Charles Price. This time it's Charles Price going past. He's gone up 8 places today. Really good race from him on debut in MPL. With the Ferrari. They're slowly catching ground crackers actually, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Because they're trying to almost spin around there as he slides the medium tyres through the corners. They're really struggling for grip here at the moment, these guys. Jan continuing on. As into the pit line there comes Ski. He's going to be the first one to go. He's going to try and undercut these guys too. Let's get ahead of this chaos. Harry continuing on. CB there right behind Jan. So CB and Jan, oh, contact there as CB goes past and has DRS now down the straight because you got the DRS detection, and he will now try and pull away, but they're going to apparently chase down Pschenk. I don't think that's going to happen, but by the way, Fabian has a 3.5 second lead almost over Pschenk behind. Fabian just looks completely calm in this race. Oh, and Charles Price there, battling with Bonfo, looks like. Continuing their battle now. He tried to go for a switchback. Here comes Dylan Gall as well in this fight now. The Red Bull. And off the exit, look at Dylan. Double overtake down the straight with the DRS. Almost a crash down there as well between the two of them. Dylan, of course, has that 10-second penalty. He may appeal that, but of course, he'll probably have to serve it when he pits anyway. And Dylan goes up to P6 now. Chase down John where he can. And that looks pretty inevitable. Dylan with some good pace here in the Red Bull at the moment. Ferrari of Charles Price right in front of Bonfo. Taking his way. And Jan there chasing down CB as they both pit. They're both pitting in the same lap. They're going to try and cover off these drivers who pitted. Harry can get held up a bit here by the traffic, it looks like. He's on mediums actually. Bonfo stays out as Charles pits. And Bonfo lets Harry pass. Good stuff from Bonfo. Someone hit the wall? Who crashed? Might have been CB or Jan. I think both of them have not changed their wing, so I think it's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were just going into the pit lane. He's not on hards, he's on mediums. Oh, spin up at Bonfo! Oh my god, that was close to a crash. Bonfer stayed out, took a risk, spun around, almost got clobbered by Ski, but luckily was out of the way by the time he did spin. And Ski there really struggling. These guys staying out are struggling for grip. Hard tyres for Ski. Has already pitted in this race and is already in a good position now. 2.7 seconds behind Harry in front. And now Harry chasing down Dylan for position. Launches for P4 on track, and this will be a big undercut attempt by Harry here. Harry should go past Dylan here, and he does. Nice move. Dylan, of course, has not pitted yet on the hard tyres, trying his best to make this strategy work. Dylan there. So there it goes. Who did? Oh, Bonfer again. Almost spinning around. Bonfer really struggling. And there goes Fabian into the pit lane on lap 10. We'll be trying a different strategy. What's he going to go on to? Goes on to the mediums himself again. So Harry will likely undercut him here. Let's see where he comes out against Fabian. Harry will be hoping that his outlap 26.7. That's pretty good. And he goes wide. And he does get out in front of Fabian, so Fabian will be held up by, looks like, by these cars behind. Dylan, will he come out in front of Fabian? Will Ski come out in front of Fabian? That's big for Ski's race. He's side by side with Fabian. He needs to get ahead of him if he wants to be a contender in this race. And Fabian there comes out alongside Ski, who's on those 2 lap old hard tyres. And Ski goes down the inside of Fabian now. And Dylan's in that fight as well. Fabian goes off the track. And it's a big 3-way fight now for P4 on the track. And this is for the net race lead, actually, we've seen these guys. And look at this, Fabian using a bunch of battery fuel, trying to get past Dylan Gore now, goes to the outside line. Or Dylan Gal, you know. Yeah, flags are out, Alpine spun around. Rubanon has spun around in the final corner, and has he got damage is the question. I can't change the camera, but he hasn't, but he's spun around. And Fabian there battling with Dylan. They're side by side still. Here comes Ski now on Fabian. Can he get past him? I think he has lower wings. They're side by side going into the braking zone. Ski's going to try around the outside. Oh, Dylan spins behind them. And he saved it, but he did a half spin in the middle of that corner. Oh, and Ski got beached on the curb. That's going to cost him a lot of time there. Meanwhile, Jan and CB are battling in the middle sector, in the final sector, I should say, and Jan once again pushing CB off the track. And Jan there. Oh man, this is aggressive battling in the final sector between these two. They've almost crashed so many times. CB just can't catch a break with racecraft at this track, it would seem. And once again now, contact, and CB on the outside. Great racing in fairness, it's very aggressive, but it's fun to watch. So Schenk is undercutting. I think Schenk is going for a 1-star, but it's not a bad idea, to be honest. John is too, it looks like. And I'm sure John will defend against Harry when he gets to him, inevitably. Because John did that in Singapore. Safety car is not going to come out for a while if there is one. Meanwhile, Dylan now comes out behind Bonfer. Will he get out in front of Riley is the question. Yeah, flags I just see. There's a battle here between Dan Hubert and Charles Price for P9. Charles not happy. He did come from PMRL. Meanwhile, side by side between Jan and CB once again now. Full P6 on the track. I'm not sure what he was wearing anymore. It's kind of hard to tell what the strategies are. Here comes Jan, the outside. Harry, but on Schenk. Oh my god, CB and Jan are side by side. There's going to be a crash between these two at this rate, man. They've been side by side this whole lap. Send it down the inside to CB into this corner. And he said, what a move. How did he make that stick? It was a very forceful overtake, but he made it stick. Dan fighting 12 Price. Oh, and crash. Oh, and Dan has more damage now in this race. Dan wanted to go from the inside, couldn't make it. And pit there. Oh, John D pit now for hard tyres. I think they're trying a 1-star. They pitted lap 15, said Harry, for when the safety car was predicted to come out. Dan has damage on the front wing, and that is ruining his race at the moment. And here comes Jan there battling with CB. Yeah, flags are out again. Is that Rubanon again? Rubanon spun again there in the middle sector. He's really struggling on his hard tyres for grip. And Dylan goes ahead of drag, so he now pits. Bonfer there in P12. He's had a terrible race so far. And Jan there chasing down CB once again for P4. But it's Fabian now right behind Harry now. He's sure he's going to go past. Yes, he does. And Harry now lets Fabian into the lead of the race. And he will now cruise away with the race lead, I'm sure, with that pace he has. Here comes John once again on CB, goes past, flies past him on the straight, and takes the place away. Meanwhile, the battle between Hubert and Charles Price continuing on now. You know, I don't like his race crap, I just like how he is as a person. CB there. CB there won't stay with Jan in front. Well, safety cars breed safety cars. If there is one, I'm sure there'll be more later on in the race. John there chasing down Graham Crackers with P7. It's been a surprisingly clean race in terms of the lack of safety cars. Ski, though, looking really fast on the hard tyres, starting to close back in on the leaders of Harry and Dan now pits for, I think, medium tyres. Ski there on the strategy race. Let's try a different strategy. Shank is 1.1 seconds. John battling with Graham Crackers now. He's on fresher tyres, and Graham Crackers here should make a difference. On the exit of the corner, now comes John on the outside. Can he make it stick? So far, not so good for him, but they're still side by side, and Graham Crackers actually have plenty of battery to use. Actually gets ahead of John, who must be using higher wings or something. It's coming up. I think there could be a crash right here between these two. Graham Crackers and John getting very close in the middle sector here, or the final sector, I should say. And now they'll save battery, and the battle continues on. Here comes Shank. Funny if you were the safety car, Harry. I'm joking, it wouldn't be. But Shank there right behind CB now for P5. And Ski is right behind. And Dan there with contact with his drags now. Dan now in P14 having a difficult race. Ski's there. Ski there right behind Harry now. Ski on the hard tyres. It is the better compound and it's slightly fresher too. So Ski on a great position now to get the net P2 in the race. Throughout all the strategy. Shank now right behind CB, who will try his best to defend. Purple first sector for Shank now. Continuing on his way. Here comes Harry now. He lets, and Ski can. But Harry will probably try and fight back on the exit anyway. And CB there, and Shank. A little bit of collision, looks like. Off the corner now, they're side by side. Off the corner now. Did CB get DRS? He did. And this is not what Shank wants to see. Shank now under pressure is doing some Perez level defending. Is CB now goes past Shank into P5 once again. Shank on those fresh hards will try his best to continue on. Shank's race getting fucked over here. Fabio cruising away with the race lead here at the moment in Abu Dhabi. His pace is very quick around here. And Hubert there, who goes on the outside of Charles Price for P9. It's side by side between Hubert and Charles. Will they make contact on the exit? They're still side by side. And here comes Charles Price, sends it down the inside of Hubert. Ooh, it's closed, and Bonfo's closing in because of this. On this fresh medium, side by side in the last sector between them. And Charles goes with a crazy switch, but that was a great overtake by Charles Price to get past Hubert in the final sector. And he makes it stick. These two on similar tyre life, but Hubert's on those hard tyres, so the mediums, and they are probably a slightly better tyre to be on right now. Here we go then, CB once again doing what he does best, and that is defending against Shank behind. Meanwhile, Ski actually looks pretty quick here. He's closing in slowly on Fabian in front. Or at least he's trying to, I think. Here comes Shank though on CB. Will he make it stick? Side by side down the straight. He's going for it. Shank gets the position, but we'll see CB send it down the inside. CB is moving like Perez now. Goes over the curb. Oh, that was not worth the risk. He tried going over that curb, and he goes off the track because of it. CB tried to cut the inside of the curb there, but the exhaust curb makes you go flying, and that's exactly what happened. Hubert there goes breezing past Charles Price at the P9 now. And into the back of me goes contact, almost spun him around. Both going off the corner now. Will Charles go for a move on Hubert now for P9 once again? This is a very heated battle between these two. Bonfo's in this fight too. It's a three-way fight for P9 between Hubert, Charles, and Bonfo. Who's going to be coming out on top in this battle? So far, it is Hubert, who seems to be pulling away a little bit, actually, on Charles on the medium tyres, which are really degrading at this stage. I think they're chasing down Jan for P4. Alright, Ski though, keeping good pace with Fabian in front on those fresher hard tyres, but so far it's just not looking like he's making that big inroads like he would like to be. But Fabian is on fresher tyres, but they are the medium, which is nowhere near the best tyre in this race. He's going to put this up. Harry might do too. Not that many battles on track today. This isn't the best race. Oh, that was Charles Price going very wide. Very, very wide there on the exit of the corner. Bonfo side by side with him already. Oh, he almost took him out. Oh my god, that was close. CB gets 3 seconds there at the exit of the chicane. Bonfo and Charles Price side by side into the chicane. Bonfo goes down the inside. Breaks early though. Charles Price goes in deep. Here comes Bonfo once again. This battle's been going on this whole race between these two. Bonfo there will try his best to get past Charles Price. Can he do it with the DRS? Not yet. Bonfo around the outside of Charles Price. There's going to be contact. How are they not making contact? Yeah, Rubinon spins again. Like, safety car. VSC, Rubinon broke the front wing and he's got big damage on that car. Oh, Harry couldn't up there. It's only a VSC. The driver's not happy about that. They would like a safety car. And you can see there, Rubinon with his front wing missing. He crashed the same place Dan did at the start in P5. CB now pits under the VSC. That's a free pit stop. He'll gain loads of time from that. And this is exactly what CB wanted. No, you still... That's perfect though, CB. That's exactly what you want. CB that... CB got a free pit stop and only lost 2 places because of it. Wonderful stuff. And Jan there, under pressure from Shank once again. Bonfo and Charles both pit, and they both come out the pit lane together. Charles Price phases for the air, flies right out of Sauber. It's Riley spins around and gets front wing damage. In the final corner now, Riley continuing on. The drivers want a safety car at this stage. Who's that I just saw? Strikes right behind Rubinon now, who's got that damage, and he's being lapped by Fabian. Ski's continuing on. Here comes Schenk on Jan meanwhile. And there's a battle still going on between Dan Bonfo. Rapid? Oh, Fabian got damage in the pit lane. And Fabian got damage for... Who was that? What caused that? Rubinon gave damage to Fabian. Will he change it from... He won't. This is huge. This has massive implications for the race. Oh my god, so Fabian now has damage, and that brings the race wide open once again. Meanwhile, the battle continues between Bonfo and Charles Price. Charles Price, they're both on fresh hard tyres. Ski there staying out, hoping for a safety car at this stage. Yeah, flags right, and it's out of the race for Dylan! And it's a safety car! And Dylan crashes right after Fabian pitted. That almost seemed rigged. That was right after Fabian pitted. That's so unlucky for Fabian. Big accident for Dylan Gall. The car absolutely destroyed in the Latifi corner. Oh, John got 3 seconds under the safety car somehow. Dan will pit now. Dan going back onto hards, trying something different. So, what I'm assuming is going to happen now is complete chaos. Once again, Ski handed the chance to win a race. Dylan said he didn't mean that. So Dylan, unfortunately, crashing out of the race there in the last sector. Harry in P2 now. Ski looking to go 2 for 2, but Harry saying he does not want to let Ski win the race, so Harry's going to be throwing it all at Ski at the end of the race. Fabian wants to win as well. He's on fresh hard. I think he will still be in a good position here to gain some places back when everyone pits in front. But Ski will almost certainly come out in front in the pit lane. Okay, I'll watch John. John saying he'll serve 3 seconds. By the way, CB, if you want to serve 3 seconds in the pit lane, you can. What, auto release? Oh, shit. Now, fair enough, I just wanted to let you know, but John there. Okay. John will serve his penalty now. Let's have a look at him. After he does the pit stop, he will wait for 3 seconds. That wasn't 3 seconds, John. Well, if anyone wants to investigate that, they can, but I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, you weren't going to lose any more time anyway. Ski there will be in P1, Dan in Fabian P2, CB P3 now on fresh cards. Ski is very lucky now. Ski got a free pit stop and the race lead here, so all he's going to have to do now is defend against Fabian for the race win, and he can win here today in Abu Dhabi. Repayment for Australia, I guess, says Ski. Ski now, if he wins this race, will be massively in championship contention today. Did you not have the medium started the race on, Dan? You're a real one. Done now. Medium tyres for Pshenk is an interesting strategy. If the safety car stays out for long enough, which I think it will because the cars have not caught up for a while yet. Continuing on. So CB can get some revenge on Ski for last season here. As you can see, the two pink V-carbs in 3rd and 4th place. Charles Price and Bonfire continue on now. Those two are some menaces. And by the way, Dan, the next cars you have to overtake are Bonfire and Charles Price and Hubert. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, they're really bad at racing, but you know what? It's fine. So John served his penalty. I'll say he did, because even if he did actually serve his penalty correctly, he would still win in front of Graham Cracks anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Shank there. Oh, it's lap car Ruben on, by the way. It'll go away in a second, Dan. And Ski, continuing on the lead, has the race lead. Fabian in P2. Fabian has been the quickest driver all day. Ski handed the race win. Fabian P2. I think, I gotta say, it has to be said that Dylan probably crashed on purpose to help Ski win the race. But I just realised that they're friends and they probably would have organised that, but you never know. I'm not going to throw any accusations around. Just an observation. CB and P3 there. With a penalty. P4 for Harry. P5 for Jan. So look at the position changes in this race. CB's gone up 5 places. So too has Charles Price. Up 3 for Hubert. Up 2 for John and Graham Crackers apiece. Up 3 for Ski. Down 1 for Fabian. Down 5 for Bonfo and Dan. Down 2 for Harry, Jan, respectively, both of them. And yes, so Shunk and Riley and Drags, the only people who started where they are right now in terms of grid position. Dylan literally said, shut up, crash, for fuck's sake. Ski. I know. I'm not even going to get involved in this. I know potential crashes when I see them. Ski there. Leading the way. Well, the restart will not be this lap. We have 2 Saubers that we're waiting for, and Rubenon is in the middle of this pack of cars between John and Jan. I'm Shank, actually. We're going to restart. Yeah, no, this is not a track you're going to be making overtakes on. It's not great for that at this stage. Yeah, well, I was saying you did. I was saying it looks like you did, because it would make sense. But anyway, Ski there in P1, Fabian P2, CB in P3, and Harry there in P4, Jan in P5. He had a great qualifying, his career best qualifying in P3. One for Hubert are going side by side under the safety car. An accident there. By the way, Ski, Fabian's wings are 2018. They are not low. Don't get that in your head. It's actually the exit of his corners that's giving him the advantage in the straights. Is that what Fabian's using? Oh, yeah, CB using 2015 wings, so pretty decent. Very snappy car he's looking for here to go for those aggressive moves. It's going to be good in a short run like this on the hard tyres. Unfortunately, his 3 seconds will count. John's will not, so fortunate stuff. Dan supposedly driven into Bro Riley. Ski's using 11-18 wings. He's got very low wings. That could be beneficial in this race to defend against Fabian behind. Ski there, but very slow in the chicane. He is trying to message while he's driving, I think. It's again Bonfo, and see, what the fuck is the midfield? No, it's fine, Dan. What the fuck is going on? What's Bonfo doing? So Dan there, with well, that penalty will not count for him. Even if he did pay, he'd be last anyway of all the people that would. But so, actually, Dan would have a set of softs, I think, to go on to if there was another safety car. Huh? Well, they'll be more fresh than any tyres you have now, is what I'm saying. But anyway, Ski there in P1. We'll be restarting this race. We always have chaos at the end of Abu Dhabi. We'll see how this race plays out. It's been a pretty mid race, to be honest with you. But let's see how this ending goes. With a great restart by Ski. I think he got a little bit fucked over by the throttle input there. Out of the final corner he comes. He will restart in the lead of the race. Fabian in P2. Ski versus Fabian for the race win, you might think. CB as well in that fight. Harry in P4. Trying to get another win to his name this season. Hubert there right behind Graham Cracked into turn 1. Backed out. Oh no! Oh, that was Ruben on moving lane cars out of the way. Never mind. And side by side here, Charles Price and Bonfo going side by side in the first sector. Oh wow, he got past him. It's right behind Dan now for position. Going off the track, and Dan continues on. High run. CB lets Harry through in some team orders at VCARB to try and benefit Harry in this race and get him into this fight for the race win between Fabian and Ski. Ski will try and be very calm and collected at the end of this race in the Ferrari to fend off from Fabian behind, who's been the quickest driver all day, and he still has that front wing damage, by the way, just to mention it. Fabian, with the damage, will be slower than he was before, I think, depending on how bad it is. Battling behind, I think there's a huge battle for P11 here between several cars. Both Sabers are putting a lot of pressure on Charles Price, but now he's starting to pull away with the DRS. Sorry, what am I saying? The ERS, I should say. Shank there on mediums. He's going to be chasing down Jan for P5. He's gone wide in this corner, and he's saving battery. Will Shank send it? Supposedly, he got hit by Shank. Did Jan? So Dan actually is back in the points after all the shit he's been through, much like Felix in Australia. Ski is cutting corners, but there's no warnings, and if there is, then it's going to bite him on the ass later on in the race, and he goes for fastest lap and he gets it. There's Ski now. Continuing on. Harry there still goes. Look at this. Ski's got great pace in the Ferrari at the moment. He's pulling away from Fabian now with the damage he has. Another win for Ski. 2 in a row would be crazy. In just his second and third starts in the series, goes purple first sector as well. He looks very quick. Did he? You got a 22-2, Fabian. Yeah, for real. Oh, now Ty's. I called it, man. I called Ty's joining mid-race. I said this. I called it. Didn't I say this before the race? I literally tagged you, Ty, so many times down there with Overster on the exit of the corner. Trying to get Shank out of DRS. Meanwhile, Harry's right behind Fabian. He just doesn't have the pace anymore to stay with Ski, who's pulling away with the lead because Fabian has that front wing damage. It's really costing him here today. Harry now with a chance to go for P2. This is all coming with him once again. 2 races in a row. Fabian just having some bad luck at the end of the race, costing him time. And Dan gets 3 seconds now for track limits. And here comes Harry now for P2. And Ski goes fast lap again now, pulling away from Fabian behind. And Fabian there still with Harry behind him. Harry will do what he can to go after Fabian for P2. Harry's very confident he can get past Fabian, and I am too because Harry's the go, and also because Fabian has that front wing damage. Oh, Harry wants to get Ski for P1. And I think he can be fair. If he can get past Fabian, he can definitely work with him to get to the front. Shank there right behind Jan, battling for P5. Shank had a good exit on those medium tyres, but they're getting old now already. Or they will be soon. Here comes Harry to the inside of Fabian. Goes past and will now chase down Ski for the race lead and maybe for the race win here in Abu Dhabi. What's coming to an exciting end to the race with just 5 laps remaining, 4 laps to go in the cross line. Here comes John now, gets past Pshank, he makes it stick on him, and Pshank now the championship leader heading into this race, he's now down to P7 now. It's a big championship implications here today. The ski leading, this race is getting very interesting at the end now. Here comes Graham Crackers after Pshank, yeah, he flags her out, and it's Dan, has been spun around again, he's got no front wing now, and Dan's race once again continues to come undone, unfortunately, and Dan retires. I don't blame him for retiring, that was a very unfortunate race Dan just had. Harry though continues on, he's now chasing down Ski for P1, but still, Harry's trying his best to close on Ski, and Harry there is now starting to pull away from Fabian. He's going to be under pressure from CB now, who has that 3-second penalty. As it stands, he would not finish in P4 because of that, unfortunately. John's penalty does not count because he did apparently serve it in the pit lane. Harry almost died there and has lost the 2 tenths to Ski now. People really struggling for grip in that fast left-hander, but Ski is just driving away. Ski, with a great pacer at the end of the race, is actually pulling away out of nowhere once again, just like last time out in Singapore, is pulling away with the race, but not a repeat winner I expected. Here comes Fabian on Harry now for P2, just giving space, and this is costing them both time. Fabian with that damage that continues on. The CB going to go past Harry too. Jan is way behind these guys. And John ahead of Pshank, he's battling with Graham Crackers. What's going on with Pshank's pace? He just has no pace today. Something's going on with him today. Chasing down Graham Crackers. Here fights this Ruben goes headed down now. Fights to lose the voice chat. Oh, meanwhile, there's a battle I forgot to mention between Charles Price and Bonfo. And he hits the back of him, spins him around almost. He had to save it there. Oh, big crash! Is that going to be an incident? It is! And into the side of each other there goes Bonfo and Charles Price once again. Finally they crash out, and Ruben on there comes out and goes ahead of Charles Price now. He's got Drags for company, he's closing in on him now. Meanwhile, the battles in the midfield continue. Huge DRS train from Fabian on down. The battle for P2 in this race. And CB there, third, chasing down Fabian. Looks like the top 2 will be the same this time around as it was last time. Oh, Harry completely outbrakes himself, gets 3 seconds, and that's going to cost him dearly in this race. He's going to come back out right behind John in front of Pshank, but Pshank going to get past him now. Harry gets 3 seconds and completely ruins his race. Which means Jan is going to get a podium. Because CB has that penalty, Jan is now on a net P3. And he's now going to have to fight with John for the podium now. Fabian goes off, CB continuing on. CB chasing down Fabian for P2 now. Of course, CB has like 3-second penalty. He does not want Jan, though, as it stands, would be on the podium, but he needs to stay ahead of John. He's right behind him, and Jan goes in deep into the corner. Jan needs to not let the pressure get to him and just drive smoothly again, and he'll be fine. The 19-year-old bullying the 14-year-old again, continuing on this race. Here comes CB for second. He's thinking about it. What can he do? Like down. Anyway, CB there, right behind Fabian. Can he make a move on this straight with the DRS? It's looking close between them. Jan there, right behind CB. Can he get in this fight? Jan doing a good job in this race to stay in front of these cars. And this train continues. Here comes CB on Fabian now. He battles him down the straight. Looks like he's going to get past. CB does go past into the chicane. Fabian trying to go back around the outside. Contact. Into the back of CB. CB now comes off the corner, and it's going to be down a straight fight down this straight now between CB and Fabian. Will he have enough battery to defend against Fabian? Down the straight he goes. To the outside goes Fabian. CB's probably going to send it on the inside. He does. Sends it around the inside. Fabian with damage, trying to go around the outside. It's still side by side between them off the corner. And this battle's going to get very heated now with just 2 laps remaining as CB still battling away. Coming on to the last lap, and CB no, will stay behind. As it stands, Harry would actually finish down in P8, unfortunately for him, but what seconds in the situation. Here comes CB still, and Jan is still really close in this fight. He's got John for company on the old mediums. It's getting really close in this lead fight between all these guys. Look how many cars are in this blanket on the final lap of the race. Ski has a massive 3.6 second lead over Fabian after getting track position on that phase of the race. I don't know what happened to Pshank, honestly. He just sort of fell off a cliff and pace today. He hasn't got any visible damage. But nevertheless, that's what Dan's asking anyway. Harry there, still in this train of cars on the final lap. But is there going to be some interesting fights on this last lap of the race? I've been doing anything he can to fend off P2 on track, and John there chasing down beyond P4. This is actually for P3 because of CB penalty. And John who has 30 penalty. Well, I mean, if it's based on warnings, you can't really appeal that. It's just the game. That's yeah. Like if you already had 2 warnings before then, you get 3 seconds, and that's just the penalty. I mean, you can go for the whole race and check if you want, but it's up to you. Jan there, still right behind CB and Pete, who will lose a few places in this race. And there he is, Ski on the line, wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for now. Fabian gets 2nd place. And it's Jan for the first time ever on the podium, gets P3. And it is Shank P4, Graham Crackers P5. And John... John's third is penalty, so he'll finish in P4. Then P5 to Shank, P6 to Graham Crackers, P7 to CB, P8 to Harry, P9 to Hubert, P10 to Riley, P11 to Bonford, and Charles Price drags Ruben on. Ski was locked in on this race, and he does win here in Abu Dhabi by the looks of things. And Dan is still mad, and he's complaining again. Yeah, it's a Ski. It's fine, bro. Yeah, Fabian fumbles. Did you see last season? Oh, that's true, yeah. So let's have a look at warnings for Harry. Seeing track limits. So yeah, Harry only got 1 warning and then got 3 seconds, so he could appeal his penalty, in theory. We need to have a look at these results and all these and make sure we can go back. Okay, sure, so there it is. Ski wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from Fabian second, Jan in third for the first time in his career getting a podium, and then P4 goes to John because he served his penalty in the pit lane. And that is it for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We'll see you next week for the Jeddah race, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and then the coveted race for the Canadian Grand Prix returning to the league. And what's going to be a very exciting race. It was a very good race in Season 12. We'll hope to see more of the same this time around. We'll see you next time out.